Gabe Jenkins back with you. Going to work on AutoCAD drawing number 6 this time. I think you're going to find that 6 is actually significantly easier maybe than AutoCAD drawing number 5. I think it's easier. But it's the kind of thing where if you take a second and just look at the shape and look at what it's made of and all the little constituent component parts, I think you're going to find that it's going to be significantly easier. So one where planning helps out a lot. It basically only includes rectangles, circles, you can copy and paste some things, and trimming is really all the tools that are necessary to do it. But I want to just highlight a couple of things really quickly before we start. As we're looking at it, if this is the drawing we're going to do, please note that the whole thing is symmetric. It's symmetric left versus right, top versus bottom, so everything is centered upon this kind of center point right here. So when I'm going to draw it, when I think about where I want my origin to be, I want my origin to be right here in the middle. I see I've got a big circle out here that has a distance from the center point to the outside of 7. So that's the radius, even though it says it's the distance from here to here. It doesn't tell us the radius. It doesn't say R or R of 7. It doesn't tell us that. But it does say that from the center out to the edge is 7. So that's another way of just telling you that the radius of this big circle, if we were going to trim all these things away, that would be a radius of 7 for that circle. I also see you can kind of just visualize that there's a square, or I guess it's a square, that goes boom, 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 but they all have filleted corners with a radius of 1. 4 times that, so it means that all of them have a radius, that all of these fillets have a radius of 1. And then it's got a smaller circle on the inside, with a diameter of 10, and it's got little circles, 4 of them, with a diameter of 1.2. They have the same center point as the fillet here, so I know that it'll be easy enough to find that center point if I've already done the filleted corners, because then the AutoCAD will just tell me where the center point is. So it's a pretty simple drawing, and we're going to get started on it. Over here in AutoCAD, if I just push down on my scroll wheel and kind of pull it up to the right, I can establish that just move my origin up a little bit so it's in the center of my screen. First thing I said I was going to do was I said I was going to make a circle with a radius of 7. So circle, center point, radius. Click on that one. It says what's my starting point? 0, 0. Cool. Move it out a little bit. Hit 7. And so I've established that that is now my the big circle on the outside. Next, I'm going to make that rectangle, because I said I wanted to make the rectangle. And the rectangle is going to have it's going to be 6 up and 6 down, and the whole thing is 6 over and 6 over. So it's a 12 by 12, it's 12 by 12 rectangle. So if I click my rectangle tool here, specify my first corner point, my first corner point. Well, you know what? Let's put it over here. So it's going to I'm going to make it down here. And I'm going to make it 12-12. Okay. Now we learned how to use the move tool, right? So the move tool, if I click here, this is the object I want to move. Okay, hit enter. Let me pick it up by the center point and place it right here. Awesome. Exit out of that tool. Now I want to try to fillet all of these corners so that all of the fillets are with a radius of 1. So I'm going to click my fillet tool. I'm going to say R, enter, 1, enter, and I'm going to do multiple, right? I'm going to do many of them, right? So I'm going to go click, 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 click. Great. Exit out of the fillet tool. That is now done. Okay. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim away this little part here, all these kind of inner parts of the circle here and inner parts of the square, because I just want to kind of clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to get rid of that. Cool. You can see we're already starting, we're honestly almost finished right now, right? So either we can make 4 separate circles, or we can just copy and paste them. It's up to you, whatever you feel more comfortable with. All of these circles, these little ones in here, they're all going to, 4 of them, they're all going to have a diameter of 1.2. So I'm going to go, this is the kind of circle, center and diameter. And my center point is going to be here. Click on that center point. My center point is 1.2. My diameter is 1.2. Awesome. Now let's just use to copying because we're trying to do multiple things here. That's the one I want to copy. Enter. Pick it up by the center point. And copy it here. Copy it here. Copy it here. Awesome. Got all those done. Now I only have one more circle to do, which is kind of that interior circle. It says it has a diameter of 10. I got the center point diameter. So I'm going to click on the center point. Click. Make a circle. Diameter of 10. Exit out. And I'm done. So as I said, it's a pretty quick one. Again, before I turn it in, I'm going to look at it, make sure there's nothing that looks weird. I'm not forgetting to trim any random strange lines or anything that I've forgotten to do, and I think I'm done. All right, everybody. Hope that worked for you. Have a great day. I'm going to move on to number 7 next.